second day along the Norfolk Coast Path begins at the village of Burnham Deepdale and heads out along the top of the sea wall. The long sweeping path passes Burnham Overy Mill to arrive at Burnham Overy Staithe and rejoins the sea wall, making its way straight to Holcombe Bay. It can be hard going as the trail follows several miles of soft sand, but keeping close to the waves ensures firmer ground underfoot. Passing Holcomb Gap, the trail keeps to the south of the pine woodland to arrive at the Coast Guard station north of Wells. The straight path then heads south, leading into the bustling town and harbour. The Deepdale Cafe can set you off with a content and full stomach today, and with only 11 miles to complete, there's no need to rush this lovely day's walking. Setting off along the sea wall, there are some lovely views over the salt marshes, with dozens of narrow channels teeming with wading birds and wildlife. The route approaches large areas managed specifically for wildlife, as it makes up a vast nature reserve covering 19,000 acres and of international importance, and entirely within the Norfolk Coast area of outstanding natural beauty. The Norfolk Coast Path briefly heads off the sea wall and aims for Burnham Overy Mill, a Grade 2 listed building dating to 1816. Burnham Overy Staithe is a beautiful traditional coastal harbour, offering a potential overnight stop for walkers planning their own itinerary, and the perfect place to stop, rest and watch the changing skies. Leaving Burnham Overy Staithe, the trail follows the top of the seawall once more, as it makes its way north along Overy Creek to Holcombe Bay and the vast sand dunes and beach. The next section onto Holcomb Gap is pretty tough, as 2 miles of sandy beach is followed. Keeping closer to the waves ensures firmer ground underfoot, as does keeping close to the pine woodland once reached. Holcombe Beach is renowned for being one of the most stunning and unspoilt beaches in the country, and it really is. The lack of facilities and commercialisation really adds to the charm of this beautiful place, and during the summer months it can be overwhelmed with visitors. An interesting historical feature just off the route, but visible from one of the viewpoints in the pine forest, is an Iron Age fort. These are rare in Norfolk, and the only remains are earthworks marking the boundary to the site. The Lookout is a brand new cafe offering facilities to some of the 800,000 visitors to Holcombe Beach each year. Built to provide lovely views over the nature reserve and produce minimal waste, it's the perfect place to stop for a brief rest and a snack before pressing on along the trail to Wells next to the sea. It's almost 2 miles along this track before any signs of civilization are encountered in the form of a caravan park just by a beautiful lake. This lake marks the point where you'll cross a busy car park and join the bank along Beach Road by the Coast Guard station. The bank is a dead straight path and, as you can see, during the summer holidays is crowded with people and almost mimics a long queue into the town of Wells. Alongside the bank and Beach Road is the Wells Harbour Railway, a full-on cheat for those walking the coastal path, but a fun way of getting from the harbour to the beach. Built in 1976, the railway runs for 1,100 metres and runs regularly through the summer. The station also marks the way onto Wells Harbour and dozens of cafes, restaurants and suitable overnight accommodation.